Talking about my trip to Jordan. I went there this year around the coronavirus, like right before the switch went off. So a little backstory: I was studying abroad in Europe, living in France, and I was just visiting all over the country, all over Europe really. I was all over Europe mainly, and I would go on Skyscanner to search for cheap flights, and I would see Jordan all the time. And I never knew what Jordan, what it was, you know. So I googled it, and I was like, "This is amazing. I have to go." And right before I went, I didn't know if I should go, you know, because I was solo traveling, and it's the Middle East, and for some reason has this bad reputation. My family didn't want me to go, and at the same time, the corona was like getting serious. So I was really like for like a week straight thinking, should I go? Because if I don't go now, I probably won't ever have the chance to go again. So I went. I was like, YOLO.
You already know though, you only live once, that's the motto, nigga, YOLO, and we bout it every day.
But yeah, I get there and I'm looking for an Uber, right? I'm ready to get shit started. I'm ready to go fucking see what Jordan is. When I get the Uber, he's being like super weird. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna be in a different spot. I'm not gonna be like in a taxi spot, and I'm gonna have a different name, and it's gonna be a different car. But I got you." And I was like, "What the fuck? The fuck you don't?" But no, I was really like, "What the fuck is going on?" You know, if it felt like I was doing something wrong. Sure enough, I googled it, and apparently Uber is like illegal in Jordan, right? So they have to do this low key, discreetly. Let me just say, man, getting an Uber in Jordan is like buying illegal drugs here. You know, you gotta be low key, you want attention, etc. But that was the scariest ride because, you know, I didn't know that guy, I didn't know the car, and I didn't really, frankly, know if he was being honest. But it worked out. He was a great guy, you know. Shout out to him. And then I got to finally Amman, the city, and after Amman, I'm visiting, and it's very beautiful. And then finally the next day, I get on the bus. It's about a 5-hour drive to Petra. It's like the old rose city, the beautiful ancient city. And I'm on the bus, you know. I take a little nap. I'm chilling. Then I just wake up. Maybe the song was over. Maybe like my phone was dying or something. But I woke up, and I'm sitting behind not the pilot, the chauffeur. So I could see what he's seeing, the big old windshield. And I kind of see he's getting like really, really close to the rails, because we're like in a mountain, like all these curves, right? And he's getting really close to the rails. And I was like, bro, we're about to fall off. And I'm like the only one awake. There's like, okay, first of all, the whole bus, there's only like 5 people. It's like me, a couple, and like 3 more people. But they're asleep. And I was, but I'm not right now. And I'm just looking like, it's getting closer and closer every second. Like, we're getting closer and closer to the edge of the mountain, to the fucking rail. By the way, this is like in 1 minute. Like, I opened my eyes, and this is happening like in 10 seconds. You know, everything happened so fast. I woke up my eyes, and I went from like, that was a good nap, to like, okay, yeah, this is how I die. Like in 20 seconds, man, that shit happened. And I was accepting it. I was like, I had a good run. But thankfully, we just crashed. We didn't fall over. He hit the brakes. He hit the brakes. He braked, and we survived. Let's get it, baby. Turn up. You know, we had to wait for like an hour there for a new bus to come. Engine was all fucked up. They took our passports, made sure, you know, we didn't have no concussions. So, you know, I was like, bro, this is really my second day out here, and it's like two times already where I feared for my well-being.
Yeah. It's only my 3rd day out here. I don't know.
And then after that bus, so yeah, I'm in Petra now. I'm in the city. It's beautiful. Like, I'm not even gonna describe how beautiful it is, because It won't do it justice. Pictures won't either. Videos won't either. But it might help. But yeah, I'm in Petra, and after exploring the city a couple of days, or maybe like a day or two, I gotta go to my new Airbnb, which is like in the middle of nowhere again. It's like a desert. It's like a mountain. It's like really like, this ain't no hotel. This ain't no like, you know. Yeah. So I'm there, right? And I decide I'm gonna walk it, right? Cause Petra is like a 30-minute walk to where I was living, where I was gonna spend the night, a couple nights. But I'm so tired. I have my luggage that I've been carrying all day, and I'm fucking hungry. And I wish I could just fly there at this point. And the only option is to get a camel. But those camels are like for tourists, so they're like $30, right? And in Jordan, to $40, they give you like 2 more days in the city. So I was like, 2 more days here or a camel ride? Nah, I'm gonna walk. And I'm gonna spend the money somewhere else. And these guys, they notice and they're like, bro, where you going? I'm like, here. And they're like, bro, that's far and you're hot and it's hot, you know? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not gonna pay for a camel ride. And they're like, it's only, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't have it on me. And then they're just following me, you know, because we're all in the desert, bro. There's not much to do in the desert, you know. And eventually they're like, whoa, shit, you wanna ride a donkey? Like we got donkeys too, and they're cheaper, you know. Nobody will ride them, but you can ride them. And I'm like, how cheaper? And they're like $10. I'm like, I ride a fucking donkey, dude. Fuck that. I've been walking, you know. I still got a long ass way to go. It's just like uphill. So I get on the donkey. I'm riding with the homies. And I get to my place, and you know, I finally eat. It was nice. And then we head to the desert, Wadi Rum. Wadi Rum was like the most beautiful thing ever. The sky was just covered in stars, and everything else was covered in sand. You know, that's the best way I can describe it. But the people were so kind. Like, oh my god, the people of Jordan are the kindest people ever. I love Jordan. But yeah, I'm in the desert, and I didn't know there was gonna be any signal. I had an idea, but I really didn't know. You know, I thought it was kind of like at least Wi-Fi would be there. If I knew there would be no signal, I would have downloaded more Netflix shows. But yeah, there's no signal, so I'm like, for a couple of days, I'm like nothing. You know, it kind of sucks because I wanted to be flexing on the gram and Snap with the camel. But yeah, there's no signal, so I'm just chilling, enjoying my time. You know, being one with the cold sky of the desert, bright sun. And I finally get back to my place in Amman. I finally get signal, right? After like being 2 days without, I was like away from civilization when I was in the desert. Like no signal, like. But my phone's blowing up, and the first thing I see is like the NBA season is canceled. Like Rudy Gobert fucking gave the NBA he made them cancel it. You know, which looking back was probably the best thing that happened. But at the time it was shocking. It was like, oh, so this Rona thing is like really really real. But everything happened so fast. Like the NBA was canceled, and a couple of days later, like. Fucking Trump was closing the borders from Europe, and I'm like, bro, I'm in Jordan. Like, what the fuck, you know? Like everything was so fast. So, thankfully, Jordan was still having flights, very few, right? But so I managed to leave Jordan. I had a layover in Romania. I was there for like a day or two. After Romania, I went back to France, and I'm in France, and like everything's shut down. There's like no people outside. It's like zombie land. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And my school's emailing me. They're like, bro, you should probably come home. And I'm like, yeah, but I already paid rent. So I'm going to stay in France for a little bit. But like every day got more and more serious. As soon as Tom Hanks had it, I knew I had to go back. So I'm just packing my bag super fast. I'm like, and I'm trying to get the airlines to change my flight, and they don't care. They're like, yeah, buddy, we understand. There's a virus, a deadly virus out there that could affect you, and it's shutting down the economy and the world as we know it. But yeah, there's gonna be a fee, big ass fee. Like, nah, like I literally what I ended up doing is buying my own ticket, because they didn't give a fuck. They didn't give me no refund, no nada. So it was whatever. It was literally a trip, bro. It was like, but the last from the Uber ride, I was really scared, to the bus ride where we got in an accident. Even to the way back, on the way back from the desert, I didn't know who was gonna take me. Like I said, I was like one of 5 people there. Usually it's like March, right? So everything is kind of isolated. Everything is by itself. So I was literally by myself in this village, looking for a ride back, and they don't speak English. I don't speak their language. So we're just like, and I'm like, is this it? This is the 3rd time on this trip I'm thinking, is this it? Like first it was the Uber, and then it was the bus. Now I'm in this remote village with people I don't know that supposedly called me a taxi, and I'm just thinking, this is it. 3rd time's the charm, baby. But no, they just called my taxi, and I just got home, but it was just super sketchy and scary, and I'm super paranoid. I go to Mexico a lot, and you're very much aware of that. So this isn't like coming out of nowhere. Like I was really, really scared. I wasn't like scared. Like when I get scared at that point, I just accept it. When I was in the Uber, I was just like, bro, they kidnapped me. Fuck it. What the fuck can I do? When I was in the bus, I was like, bro, if this bus falls over, what the fuck can I do, bro? I'm not Superman. I'm not gonna fly out of this bus.
Okay, kids, it's all right now.
The 3rd time I was in that village after the desert, trying to find a way back to the city, it was the same thing. I was just like, there's no way out. They can. It's not much I can do. It's not like I was just gonna give up, but it's definitely like I accepted it. But in all those moments, the people were so kind. Jordan is like the 2nd favorite country I visited, and I visited like 7 countries. And Jordan was just so much fun. The people were so kind, and the experiences were amazing. Thanks to the people, the people really help the experiences be what they are. So yeah, that was my trip to Jordan. It was just so crazy, so wild. It was like I came to Jordan thinking I'm gonna have a good time. I left having a great time, better time than I expected. But at the same time, I left knowing that things will never be the same again, right? Because airports were shutting down. I had layovers in countries where everything was shut down. I came back to France and it was never the same. As a matter of fact, my roommates left. Like that's how crazy this thing was. Like I was living with my roommates in France. They're from Italy and Finland. I came back, one of them was gone already. Because like I said, it was a switch. Once that switch flipped, once that NBA got canceled, toilet paper started selling out. I was still in fucking Europe and in Middle East. Yeah, I come back. My roommate's like, hey, I had to leave. But I have some food in the fridge. You want it? And I'm like, cool, but damn, I'm really by myself here in the middle of pandemic, south of France. Just vibing, chilling, fresh out of Jordan. But yeah, that was my trip to Jordan. Great people, great place, and if you could visit it, I would recommend you visit it.